The king found the hatching dragon eggs in a cave. He knew that a dragon could only lay 3 eggs in its lifetime, and immediately ordered his soldiers to go forward and destroy them. The dragon in the cave was awakened. Sensing something was wrong, the crowd quickly formed up to fight. But before they could react, the dragon spewed scorching flames at them. The soldiers who were touched by the flames for just a moment were vaporized the next second. Looking at this terrifying dragon, the king suddenly panicked. He could only watch his men being killed one by one. In order to get the dragon's forgiveness, the king knelt down on the spot, hoping that the dragon would let him go, and expressed his willingness to agree to all his requests. The dragon, who had just lost his 3 children, felt that killing the king directly would not relieve his hatred, so he thought of a more cruel way, which was to require every successor of the king to offer a sacrifice before ascending the throne. Make one of your own. The abominable dragon never expected how cunning humans were. In order to preserve the royal bloodline, each successor to the throne would choose a wife from the common people before ascending the throne, and on the wedding night, throw your wife into the dragon's lair. On the first day of the princess' marriage to the prince ruthlessly threw the princess into the abyss. Fortunately, the princess managed to save her life thanks to the prince's efforts. Soon the princess woke up from her coma, but before she could come to her senses, she was attacked by a dragon. Seeing the scorching flames about to catch up with her, the princess didn't care about anything else and jumped straight to the other side. Unexpectedly, she almost fell into the bottomless abyss. Fortunately, the belt on her clothes got stuck in the gap. Didn't fall. Seeing that the belt was about to break at any time, the princess cut it off without hesitation. Fortunately, I caught the dagger in time. Fortunately, I didn't fall. In order to survive, he had no choice but to climb up step by step, holding the dagger, and finally reach the top of the cliff. Just as he closed his eyes and enjoyed the water dripping from the ice, unexpectedly a shadow appeared in the ice, and then the hanging icicles began to melt. Before the princess could react, a terrifying flame spurted out. It turned out that the evil dragon had caught up with her again. Seeing this, the princess quickly ran into the cave. Fortunately, she hid in a small cave in time and escaped the disaster again. But when he looked around, he found that there were piles of dried bones here. At this moment, he saw his own image on the wall, and then he realized that these people were also thrown down, and they hid in here because they were chased by the dragon, but they were eventually starved to death. Died here. In order to recover his strength, he leaned against the stone wall and fell asleep. Suddenly, he felt something on his foot. When he lifted up her skirt, he discovered that her feet were covered with glowing bugs. He was so scared that he quickly caught the bugs. Unexpectedly, at this moment, he discovered that his injured leg was miraculously healed. In order to verify his guess, he put another insect on his injured arm. Unexpectedly, the next second, the injured parts were repairing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Soon, he found a map on the stone wall and found the exit on it. Following the guidance of the map, he successfully found the cave entrance leading to the outside world. However, if he wanted to escape from here, he had to pass through a stone wall covered with sharp crystals. But he had no choice now. He could only tear off the strips of cloth from his body and then wrap them around his hands and feet. Supported by the desire to survive, the princess climbed to the top step by step with difficulty. Looking at the exit full of hope, she slowly walked up, but unexpectedly, when she reached the exit, I discovered that there was a steep cliff outside. He immediately fell into despair. Suddenly, he found that there were several people riding horses thousands of miles away. Seeing hope, he shouted quickly, but unexpectedly, the next second, the dragon suddenly pounced on him, and the frightened princess fell straight to the ground. Just when the evil dragon was about to spit out fire again, it unexpectedly stopped suddenly. In order to find the kingdom of daughters, the king accidentally came to a cave. Unexpectedly, at this moment, a dragon suddenly appeared in front of him. Before he could react, he was pounced to the ground by the dragon. Then, the dragon pierced the king's body with its sharp claws. When the dragon left, the princess also arrived here. But it was too late now. Looking at her dead father, the princess swore to kill the dragon no matter what, but at the moment she had to escape first. Then he climbed up along the rope his father had used to come in. Unexpectedly, at this moment, the evil dragon also discovered that he was trying to escape, and without saying a word, it spewed fire at him. Fortunately, she managed to escape from the cave the next second after being hit by the flames. But before the princess could be happy for 2 seconds, the evil dragon flew out. In order to find the escaped princess, the dragon began to spray fire at the entire mountain. As the flames were about to approach the castle, the royal family, in order to appease the dragon's wrath, captured the princess's sister and threw her into the dragon's lair as a substitute sacrifice. In order to protect her sister from harm, the princess had no choice but to return to the cave again. In order to deal with the dragon, she began to make traps. After everything was ready, the princess activated the trap device. The loud noise immediately attracted the attention of the evil dragon. She then flew towards the source of the sound and watched the giant leaving. The princess came secretly to his chamber. He also hit his unconscious sister. When the dragon returns, the princess took advantage of the dragon's inattention and stabbed him in the tail with a knife. It turns out that the princess's action was just to anger the dragon, watching the dragon fall to the ground after being burned by her own flames. The princess told him the truth. It turns out that the royal family did not really offer their own blood, but seduced girls from the people to serve as sacrifices. I am also one of the victims. After saying all this, the princess scooped up a large number of glowing insects from the water and then applied them to the injured part of the dragon. With the help of the insects' treatment, the dragon was successfully rescued and became the girl's mount. To avenge those innocent girls, the princess brought the evil dragon into the royal room. As the evil dragon roared, a terrifying flame suddenly sprayed towards the royal members. As the flames continued to burn, the entire castle was eventually burned down. After rescuing their sister, they set out for their hometown. But what is different this time is that there was an extra hand beside them.